Howdy. Can you hear me now? I guess I'll start this one over. It's a mess. Okay. I'm listening to it. Oh, I paused it. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna quit right here and start again. Then later I'll just delete this little short blurb of a mess of a stream. Hey, Don here, back with another live stream. I'm going to go back to the work on my HP DL380 G7 server. I have to think about that. Okay, let's check the sound before I go on. I see I got good video. Okay, good sound, good video on my live stream. Now, I previously put in a 8 gigabyte video card in it. Works great on Fedora. I'm going to be running Fedora 32. I tried it on Fedora 29 because I already have that on a USB stick. Fedora 32 installer with net install. It's called the server edition net install, but you can install. It's probably what I'll end up using because you can install. It's just a smaller version, and I only have 2 gigabyte SD cards, and it's only like 700 megabytes. But the Fedora 32 it says it's 2 gigabytes. My SD cards, USB cards, are sticks. I can't see anything right. My old SanDisk, that's all I have is 2 of these as far as USB sticks. 2 gigabytes, well, but there's only 1.9 gigabyte of usable space. So sometimes when you know, and depending on what application I put it on my computer, it'll show a little bit different, anywhere from 1.8 gigabytes to 2 gigabytes as far as the ISO size that I downloaded of Fedora. But anyway, I can put it on an SD card, but that'll take a little time, and I will probably do that. But the one thing that it works, the video card works great. But the first time I booted it, I had it VGA for onboard VGA first, and and video card second as far as what the system sees in the BIOS, the server. And it's I'll just switch views just to give something a little bit maybe more interesting. I've got my little camera. I've got my surveillance camera that I haven't put up yet outside, pointing at me now, and it's from the other direction. I've been having it behind me, and you can see my curve. It makes my monitor look curved, but anyway, you can see the whole area, my whole work area here. And let me make sure, what do we got? 4K, yeah, okay. I can't tell what I'm showing because I had to close my laptop was already getting hot and ramping up the fan. So anyway, the server, I thought, well, at least I can show the server here. It's my brain's going in circles. Okay, I'll do this now just for the fun of it, but also, okay, desktop. I'm fixing to be on the desktop, I think. I'm not even sure. Okay, the server, but that makes this bigger. You can see it. Got it all wired up and ready to go, and so I have the Fedora 32. There's the little cover for it. I have the Fedora 32. I'm thinking I'm at that camera still. And here I have 2 identical. This one I tried to put Fedora 32 on it, the live edition that I was talking about. It's 2 gigabytes. It won't fit. So it's just reformatted. I reformatted it, and then I couldn't get it on there. So I'm going to have to put it on one of my SD cards. But if I want to boot live on Fedora 32, and I think I do, to see if it does like Fedora 29 did, and the system it's built in 2010, so the onboard video wouldn't work, So yeah, the onboard video wouldn't work unless I went to old graphics mode to fall back. We call it fallback graphics and stuff like that. But the new video card, it's this year, 2020. It's made, well, I think it might have been made last year in 2019, maybe. Like when it actually started coming out. This version that I've got, but it's new. So it should just work. Should have just worked on Fedora 29 though. But I don't believe it did. Or maybe it did once I swapped in the BIOS for the onboard video to be first and the VGA second. Now I can't even remember. I guess when I did that, I didn't have to do the. You have to pause the booting and switch to the fallback video mode. I guess I didn't have to do that anymore. Now I can't even remember. But what I want to do, first thing I'm going to do, I remember when I booted it up the first time or two with the VGA first in the BIOS and the video card second. It wasn't ramping up, the fans weren't ramping up and it wasn't making all that noise, I guess because the first device it saw was the, excuse me, the onboard that it's used to seeing. And so it didn't think anything was wrong or see a device it didn't know how to handle. I don't care if I can get it to work right. Okay, so if VGA first, video card second, the operating system, if the operating system can still see the video card and send it out to, I'm using the HDMI, make sure it's still plugged in good. I've been moving stuff around a bit. Kind of don't like that not having any strain relief. Even when it's, if I end up putting it in my rack, which I was showing in the other videos, but that's the other direct, it's this way over here. If I put it in the rack, I've been thinking about putting it in the closet back there. Can't point to it there, where the towel is. And I've got that cable's 30 feet long. It'll go, but then I would either have to use a wireless keyboard, which I'm so used to my HP keyboard that I've had for 18 years or so. That's the only thing I can type on. And my mouse, I like my Microsoft IntelliMouse that I got even before I got the keyboard. But I have a little wireless, a pretty good one, and it is laid out close enough to a normal keyboard that I can use. Some of those wireless keyboards are so wonky the way they're laid out. It's like laptops. You can't find anything. That's why you always see. I think that's why you see people hunting and pecking on laptops, because they may be good typers on a regular keyboard, or they were, like I guess these, of course, people that grew up with these weird things and so many people now can't even type because they can type with their thumbs, because they're used to doing it on a phone. But anyway, that's what I want to do first. Got Fedora 32 net install in there, so I'm going to boot it up and see if I've got it wired up. The VGA goes to port 4 on my KVM switch. The USB, of course, then I can control the machine, with my mouse and keyboard, my normal mouse. I have a 4-port KVM switch that'll switch to different machines, use the same mouse, same monitor, same keyboard. So I switch over there, and I'll see it booting up on the VGA. I may wait to that point, and then I don't know if that's good to wait that long, and then switch. I have a DVI. It's a DVI or VGA monitor, but it works with an HDMI to DVI-D adapter, which I have on the back of it, and so I can I have to just switch it here on the monitor, and where I can see the DVI input. So really, the system probably can put. I don't see why it couldn't put out both of them at the same time, and I could just switch between them at will, and if that makes the fans quieten down, no more trying to figure that out, because I can see myself going on and on and on trying to figure out a setting. There may not really be a setting, because this server's made in 2010, the video card made in 2019, 2020. Excuse me. May not be any settings that can do that. So to tell it, even if I said I mentioned this one other time in the video, I have seen Morton, the guy that Morton on my Playhouse channel on YouTube. He's the guy I've learned the most from on about servers, and he mostly does Lenovo IBM, so he has a one of these that's a G6, mine's a G7, but that's what got me interested in his channel when I saw that he was setting up video cards and servers, you know, and he went into great details on doing the IBMs, but not, I don't think he put some in that G6, but I don't think he actually booted it up or anything. So, and some of that stuff, like swapping things around in the BIOS, he's used to doing it. He just goes and does it, you know, and real quick. And probably, so anyway, I was going to say he probably figures most of his, a lot of his viewers, you can tell they're IT guys too. You know, they work with servers in their jobs just like he does, and so they're usually in the comments. You know, they're usually telling, "Well, you should have done this, you should have done that," and sometimes he says, "Yeah, you're right," but you know, or if he'll always ask them. You say, "Well, he always say a lot of you out there are smarter than me. If you got any ideas on this, I can't figure it out." You know, they'll tell him stuff, and a lot of times they help him real quick. But it doesn't do me any good to do that because I don't have hardly anybody watching my videos. But especially since, you know, for one thing, it's the only way I'm going to do is live videos because it's just too overwhelming, too much time consuming for me to record videos and then go back and edit them and upload them and all that junk. So I originally, before YouTube was ever there, I dreamed of doing that, you know, or actually, I used to do live sound for bands, so back in the 90s and 80s and 90s, and so I liked live shows. So live video was great to me too. Anyway, once you're done, you're done. You get what you get, but once you're done, you're done. So okay. Of course, if you're mixed up, I think you're ready to go, and then you're all mixed up. You get a mess. But so let's close this. All right, now. I'm going to do one thing right quick because it came back into my mind. I'm going to open up my browser. I haven't tried ILO again. I kept trying to get ILO up, get hooked up to ILO so that I could remote control it and reboot it and do it and show it really well on, you know, in the video instead of having to point a monitor at my screen. But I haven't been able to connect to it. Trying to gotta get the other magnifying glass. Okay. So we got here. I'll do that for now again. Okay. So what I'm looking at my notes here, and I wrote down. I saw the IP of the ILO adapter in the boot screen once. Let's see. Okay, I've got notes. I'm not sure where I wrote it down, but I did write it down. There it is. Yeah, ILO 192.168.0 to 122. So I don't remember if I mean, I can go into my, I'm pretty sure I figured it out in my router. Let's go there. Let's just type it. No, yeah, let's go there. Let's just type it in first. 192.168.0.122. I don't know if you have to type in a port. I keep seeing different things. You know, I've done a bunch of reading through the manual, and let's just see what happens. Okay, there we go. Oh, I have been here before. I forgot about that. I've been here many times. Okay. Error occurred during the connection to 122. Peer using unsupported version of security protocol. Error code SSL error unsupported version. The page you are trying to view cannot be shown. Let's go ahead and go full desktop so you can read it. Okay. Can't be shown. I think it's a different error than I've ever had, though. Because the authenticity received could not be verified. Please contact the website owners for this problem. Website might not support TLS 1.2 protocol, which is a minimum version supported by Firefox, enabling TLS 1.0 and TLS 1.1 might allow this connection to succeed. TLS 1.0 and TLS 1.1 will be permanently disabled in future releases. Okay, well, I don't want to do that in my main browser because that is a security risk. So, but I'm going to go ahead and I think I'll try it in Firefox developer version. That way, if I forget to, I'm scared I'll forget to turn it off or something. I'm going to do a screenshot of that for myself. Close Firefox. And there we go. I want to make sure it was down before I open it up. Now I'm going to open it. I'm almost certain Chrome wouldn't work. Chromium is what I have, not Chrome, but Chrome is the granddaddy of Chrome. Chromium is the granddaddy of Chrome. That's what the open source project that Google's Chrome is built on. Okay, let's try it because that'd be really cool if it worked. And going to one of my YouTube. Oh, okay. I don't actually know. I was thinking maybe I'll check my stream from here. Yeah, I can. I've got a link right in there. Taking a little bit to load, but it should be fine. Right in there. And are you working? Yeah. I stopped talking a bit to load, but I should. Okay. Now, right click, paste and go. I already copied that. Okay. It doesn't say the same thing. Bad Mac alert. That's the one I was getting. Huh. Oh, it says HTTPS. Let's try. No, it won't let you do HTTP. Okay. Well, maybe I will try it. I don't know how come regular Firefox was reacting differently than the other one. Should be, if anything, behind on age, because I don't open it very often. The Firefox developer version, it should be the one that's the older one. Yeah, I'm getting the same thing again. Okay, I'm gonna say enable TLS 1.0 and 1.1. Oh, now it says bad Mac. Oh, so it must have been enabled in the other one. Okay. Try again. Yeah, I guess you're not even allowed to go straight HTTP anymore. That's all you used to have to do. I don't need, any HTTPS on a local connection to my own server. It won't do it anymore. That's our problem. So what I need is an old browser. And I tried this already, and the only thing I have is, I guess I could, no. The only thing I have old enough would be like WinXP, which I have a virtual machine of WinXP, but I can't. It gets a 10.IP address, and unless I'd have to learn how to set up a regular IP, get it a regular IP, to get it to even talk to anything on my local network other than this machine, the host machine. So now I don't want that on anymore. I don't want it on all the time. Let's see. No. Well, I don't know how to find. I guess I'll go to privacy and security. Manage exceptions. Let's see what's in there. There are none. Okay. Standard, strict. Yeah, I wouldn't want to. A lot of times, well, they're not as secure. They've been broken into so much. Too many people know how to break into SSL1. So I can't even find it. About config it. believe it would might. Let's see if proceed with caution. Yes, accept the risk. Okay. Changing these preferences. Show all. Now let's see if. Whoa. Not much there to look through. 1.1. What? No, I just want to find it. Can I find in this page? Yeah, you can, but I didn't see a 1.1. Was it 1.2? This must not be it. Okay, so now I've got probably another update will fix that, but yeah, that's what happens when you try to get fancy and set up things up, huh? Try one more time. 1.1. 2. Secure. I don't think you're going to get any of that stuff in the basic settings. It's in there. I know there's going to be probably a place in there to turn that on and off, but I can't really think of what to. Where to go? Network settings could be in there. See what they should usually do. Maybe it did only enable it for that one page. Well, there weren't any exceptions. I don't see anything about. That's really all. That's proxy. This is all about proxy. I don't use proxy settings. Didn't see it, and I manage it. Oh, those are trackers. Okay. I don't have either one of those set. I use AdBlock Plus, and it blocks most of that stuff. But I think I will. Oh, I have custom. That's what it is. Because I did something that. I haven't any pages that aren't working, so I don't, and I just leave, I don't block cookies altogether. I just have, well, I don't have it delete them all. I think I finally set it up like, I set the ones I don't want deleted and everything else gets deleted when I close Firefox. That's the way I used to have it anyway. Got myself into a mess. Okay, so I'm not going to mess with it anymore. I don't know how long it'll take me to find that. Hopefully, it actually only turned it on for that one page. That's what it should have been. It should have been an exception just for that page, that site, that server, my server. But, okay, so I want... camera 1 in 4K. Now see, camera 1 will be aimed at the monitor, and when I boot it up, I was just going to see if I could connect to. I forgot that that's actually the real problem. I've been to those pages before, and the problem is I don't have anything that can be allowed to talk anything old enough to any browser allowed to talk to the thing. And that's one thing I have learned from Morton. He always uses Windows. He's not into Linux, but he always tells you exactly what browser he's using and what version of Java it takes for that particular thing he's, machine or whatever it is. He does different ages of servers a lot, So anyway, if I can remember stuff, it's one of the reasons I make videos, because I can't remember nothing. Okay, let's go ahead and switch. So anyway, if I can remember stuff, it's one of the reasons I make videos, because I can't remember nothing. Okay, let's go ahead and switch. Actually helps me a lot. Switch to the wireless, so that when I get up, you can still hear me. So I'm turning it on. See, I was just trying to save myself doing that. That was well worth it, wasn't it? It would be if I could get it working. And I don't have, I can't really turn the front towards me or anything of the server because the way my cables, I could turn it towards me, but then all that noise mostly comes out of the back and the front that it makes. Okay, now right now it's just as noisy as ever, and I got to switch this thing to. I got to get over here where I can control the server. Got to get my KVM switch over on port 4, and my VGA is second, so I won't see. I'm gonna go ahead and check my stream on the laptop now to make sure everything's okay. It takes it a good long while to post any video or anything, so probably haven't missed it yet. Right now I'm looking at a black screen, and I'm leaving it. I haven't switched it over to the it's first. Oh, now it's really ramping up. I just remembered. I get it on VGA, DVA. Come on. Oh, there it is, yeah. I see the cursor. So I went ahead and switched it to DVI because I just realized the VGA is not going to work. It's second on the daisy chain here of stuff. So, summary, because it's so loud. I see the cursor. I went ahead and switched it to DVI because I just realized the VGA is not going to work. All right, and they're in this boot sequence, and that's the other thing. It changed what you see. Oh, I did try to turn it on to show more information. I think I succeeded. I see a lot more than I've ever seen. It looks like integrated lights out. Yeah, there's the IP. F9 for setup. It's going slower. It's not going by everything's not going by so fast that you don't have time to read it. Except for I'm trying to close my preview. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to look at two screens at once. What? It's going to message. We are about to close 2 tabs. Are you sure you want to close 2 tabs? Yes. I don't know. I got 2 tabs open up there on the laptop. Okay. Now I'm just going to let it. Well, I don't want to check in the media. I know it works. Install for the installer will boot without any changing to the video or anything, if I remember right. So even though it's not, I can't, I'm not using it yet. I'm not interested in using it right now. At least I know that, it'll work. Okay. So if I do that, I don't have to spend all that time writing it to SD cards and stuff. I can just switch. I can go into the BIOS. I'll reboot it. I'll go into BIOS and make VGA first and the video card second, and then maybe it will. I forgot what I left my view on OBS. Okay, there we go. There's the first page of the installer. Yeah. I think I have camera, and I guess that's fine because you cannot read anything with the camera. I only got my phones are the only thing I can aim at the monitor and have it work at all. I can dim it and everything, I'm using IP webcam to stream over the Wi-Fi, and I can actually get on in the browser remotely and set it up, you know. So I tried my new camera, the 4K camera, and it can't do it. I can't get it. No matter what settings I put it in, it couldn't work aimed at the monitor. So I'm going to try just hitting Control Alt Delete a couple times. And I'm already, I think, I'm in that kind of mood where I'm trying to hurry and get something done. I'm really anxious to get this up and going, and kind of got my brain in a tizzy tonight now that I'm fine. See, yesterday I didn't do anything, and I think maybe I didn't get either. Oh, the day before I didn't, because I got my new DeWalt tools that I made a video on, and so I'm anxious to get back to work. It doesn't seem to be rebooting though, just by hitting Control Alt Delete. Maybe it's got a protection so that you won't do that on accident. So I'm still trying to look at my preview again. I just completely forgot what. I'm going to hit quit. And then I think it'll allow me to reboot it. It may reboot itself. Went to says terminated. Okay, yeah, I've got the camera and the, yeah, I think that's a bit, I'll just do it like that for now. Because no matter what, you can't read. I'm going to try leaving the preview going while I'm over here. When I'm on the server, I'm in the dark about what's going on my stream. So at least if I can play it for a while. Okay, it seems to be rebooting. So I want to get into BIOS. Which one's BIOS? F9, I think. This time I won't be distracted and I'll read the screen, hopefully. Yeah, see, because you get a black screen for a very long period of time with this server, so it's better that you know, people will come in on it like that and they go, oh, it's a black screen. Oh, well, bye, you know. So this way with a dual view, you can see that there is something going on. But I guess I'll put my notes here where I can get a hold of them when I need them. But I've noticed that, I don't know if having that IP camera, it's running on the wired though, so it's not interfering with the Wi-Fi, but, well, it could just be slowing down the network, my network altogether. But my Wi-Fi mic is way noticeably behind all the cameras now. Well, ever since I started working on the server again. Last week or two or three or whatever it's been, and I've been using that pretty much the whole time. Well, maybe not the whole time, but I did go ahead and hook it up to the Wi-Fi on the router, and it couldn't do it. My network couldn't handle it. So that taught me something though. I kind of worried about that, so I can't even hook up a second of these IP security cameras on my Wi-Fi on this same router. I've got another router, and there's two ways I could do it. I can set one router to be a Wi-Fi repeater just to make a better. That's what I thought I would do, have more strength from one end of the house to the other. But I think what I'm going to need to do is put them on another subnet. Just leave that other router as it is. I can take it and put it in the living. Let's look at what's going on here. Okay, HP ProLiant. Put it on another router, separate IP addresses, and that will probably be the best thing. Except for then in the living room, you know, that other one's going to be the dominant one in there in the living room. So everybody in the living room would have to change the router they're on. That would be a pain. Okay, F9 for setup. Yeah, and since I did that, I'm sure it will. Well, okay, integrated lights out, it's talking about that. Given the IP address, it tells you about the smart array, the RAID. Does it tell you how to get in there? I think it said that up earlier. F8, there you go, for ROM configuration, and escape to skip configuration and continue. Okay, yeah, so this is, I did get it into the more detailed instructions on the boot screen, but it's also, I think it'll be slower. Didn't seem all that much slower. Now it still goes past that whole long list, the one I've always wanted to see, really fast. Okay. Serial port, embedded NICs, USB, processor, numlock. Okay, I don't want to mess with that. Power management, I have it on custom because I selected OS control mode on power HP power regulator. I thought maybe that would be a way I could get it to work, and it still may be. It's ramped up all the way, just like it has been, but it's also, you know, set to see the video card first and the VGA onboard second. So I'm going to go down here and find, I think it's in the advanced options. System ROM, video options. What's the system ROM? Load embedded devices first. Okay. Changing this option will restore the standard boot order IPL to default settings. Load embedded devices first. If I hit escape, it won't do anything. Load option card devices first. Option card, is that supposed to be PCI cards, or it's talking about, it says option ROM though. ROM is usually a ROM, as far as I know, is an onboard chip, like on your phone. You know, they call it, if you ever rooted your phone, and if you, or your ROM's not big enough, it's an onboard flash memory chip in your phones, and in any kind of embedded device. And they've used that term for, I guess, as long as they've been doing computing, or as long as, at least since the 70s. So anyway, that's the thing don't want to mess with. Video options. Yeah, it's a optional video primary, embedded video secondary. Oops. I didn't get in there. Now, there we are. Oh, I wasn't reading the whole screen. It's really weird. You got something up here, you get something in the middle, and then you got something at the bottom, and then you got where you started out down there next to the bottom. So you've got to read up and down and back. It makes me read up and down and back and forth, and confuses me. Okay, optional video primary. The top one is optional. What? Optional video. Optional video primary, embedded video second. Oh, the top one is embedded video disabled. I hadn't wanted to do that, and now I don't think I would. I don't think it would help me. Now, embedded video primary, optional video secondary. That should be it. Yeah. Okay, now that's all I want to change right now, and F10 to confirm and exit. It always tells you about your smart array, your RAID card. Your let's see, F10 for some reason in there. Okay, but yeah, that noise is so bad. I actually thought about, well, maybe I could move that thing further away since I have such a long video cable, and I can use the wireless keyboard on it. But then when I started getting it all put together, I was like, oh yeah, my power. I don't have any power far away, unless I went way over there. I guess if I went way over there in the corner, well, I still don't. I'd have to unplug some stuff over there on that side of the room. So I decided I was just going to move it, like I was thinking about moving to where I could just reach that power button. But see, there are vents on the side of it, and a lot of that sound is coming out of there. It's very annoying, and it's back up to being loud like that again too. I don't know that it's going to quit by doing that. What I may do is unplug that HDMI cable and see if it'll quit, and then go from there. Well, we'll see. Okay, so I'm going to close my preview of my stream right now, because before I know it, I won't be able to use that laptop anymore. It'll get so hot. If it gets too hot, you have to shut it down for a little while to get it to cool down. It'll just sit there and run. Doesn't seem, once it gets so hot, it doesn't, you know, it'll run for an hour still hot, even with nothing, with it doing nothing, you know, but just running, just the operating system running. So all it did was quiet down for one millisecond, you know, like 5 milliseconds while it was rebooting. It just went, oh, bloom. Yeah, just like that, oh, bloom. So I'm wondering, like, what in the world? Maybe, but it hasn't got to the point where it posts anything on the screen yet. So this time, for sure, it should post on the VGA first. And I may be causing myself a headache by having them both plugged in. We'll see. To do this, I knew I wanted the VGA plugged in so I could see that it comes up first. This is my hope, is that it would come up first. It would tell the fans everything's cool. And then when it goes on to boot into Fedora, it'll still stay like that. And as far as the sensors go, but Fedora will be able to send that video signal out the VGA, out the HDMI to my monitor. So we'll see. I just realized something. I'm still on DVI, so I won't see anything. There we go. It has already, it's already gone by. It was to the last chance there before it starts booting. Actually, if I'd have waited, okay, yeah, there we go. I'm gonna go up and hit enter. I did catch it just in time. It's all not on the screen right, but it's there. Now I'm gonna. Oh, it needs to be able to see that. Oh, it wouldn't matter where the monitor said, I don't think. But I'm going to switch to the DVI and see if anything comes up. It's still loud, though. So I haven't succeeded in anything yet. But let's see if it even works that way. I had thought it didn't work that way, and then I realized, well, it wasn't that it didn't work. It was that I was booting Fedora 29, and it wouldn't work until you put it on retro video mode, and you can't do that unless you can see the screen. So well, I think you could see you could see the boot section, and then it went away. That's what it was. Yeah, you can see the boot section. You could select what you wanted to boot to, and then it'd go away. But right now, it's not doing anything on my monitor. I've got it switched to DVI, so I think that it's maybe not going to work like I thought. That's usually what happens in regular PCs. Even though it'll happily give you the option to do this, it doesn't mean it'll work. I really don't remember ever seeing it work this way. You got a video card, or using two, having them both active at the same time, the onboard and the video card. And you have to, and what you have to do is set the video card first and the VGA second, and then if something goes wrong, I guess they will work the opposite way, both at the same time. It depends on the machine and the motherboard, I guess, but some of them I think you could, unplug from the, plug your VGA in, because you can, if it's working, you can plug and unplug the VGA all you want, and it'll just come and go on the monitor. But of course, most of them, machines I've had, they really didn't have enough power to do both of them. And why do you get a video card? To have more video power, but also to relieve some of the bunch of the work on the, running that VGA. You really just want it to. I haven't tried turning off the VGA yet, have I? I'll try it. What if that would be the thing that's actually confusing it? Now I switched to VGA just now. I thought I did. Doesn't want to switch. I wonder if it's not. It's just sitting there. When you hit the buttons in the right sequence, it's supposed to make it. Well, it's in VGA, looks like. But I don't see anything, so there should be something there. So I don't think that's going to work, having VGA first and video card second. And it definitely hadn't helped with the noise trying that, so. The only other thing with those settings I haven't tried is turning off the VGA. So let's make sure it's on, it's on DVI. Was. But if it won't, usually you can hit that other button and it'll go away and it's set. It's not doing it. And I've seen it do that before. I don't have a clue why it keeps doing that. So, okay, no signal. Maybe it's doing that because there's no signal. That must be what it is. Okay, so I'm going to go hard shut it down and unplug the VGA. I do have it set to DVI. Have to hold it in a while to get it when it's in that state. So I'm going to unplug the VGA and just let it hang down so that I'll know. Well, it's not really very good on the cable to be dangling like that. That kind of helps hold it up. Because you know the KVM cable is dual. They're tied together. One's VGA and one's USB. So that's why I would like to have it to where I can reach that power button, because I'm used to having all of my computers when I'm working on them, you know, or whether I'm using them daily. I haven't reached the button without getting up. Okay, it's already loud. Now with it not plugged in, I should get DVI. If I don't, I'll have to plug it back in just to change the settings. It's a pain doing this well on servers because they take so long to boot up. I guess I could try to find that that post message setting. Might speed it up a bit. Sometimes when I booted up, when I first got it, when I was just using the VGA before I did it, you know, put the card in and everything, sometimes it seemed to boot up. One time it would boot up really slow. I guess it was checking the hardware. Other times it would boot up pretty darn fast. You have to wait until it gets to that point long enough where you figure it. You should have seen something or not. I guess before I unplugged that, I should have rebooted it and switched it. Kind of should have done that. I think that's long enough that it should have started showing them. Definitely still loud. But it should have started showing. Yeah, the way I'm kind of going all over the place here, the big wide view would be better, but I don't think my computer, I know my computer can't handle showing that all the time that long, so I'm not going to do that. Let's see. Okay, I plugged it back in. Oh, when I'm on DVI, so I wouldn't see anything. Yeah, so this service is long. I needed the front end and the back of it all over and over here, so it wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to reach both sides of it. Okay, that time it did switch. Yeah, there we go. What's it doing? F9 for setup. That's what I want to do. Yeah, so that doesn't work with the video card. Having it set up, set to onboard first. Oh, now it's not fitting the screen. Let's see if turning it off and turning it back on will get it to fit. No, this is what happened the first time I booted up. Now I know what's wrong. I need to switch it to go turn the auto back on. If I can find the right buttons. Full and fit. I think I like fit. Oh. Or do I like full? I think I like full. That's not what I meant to do. I hate these darn things. I know I see this every time. These multi-function buttons. You know, one button does 100 things. I can never get them right. Auto adjust. I still have no idea what sequence of buttons I mashed, but I only got it to work. I just get lost in it because it's the same button, but then with this one, you have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons, and the fifth one, left to right. You know, the right one, far right one, the one's the light on it. That's the one that turns it on and off. But the other ones, depending on where you are, is what they do and what sequence you mash them in, and it drives me nuts. And I don't, it's something about when you lose a video signal, it sets itself out of auto. And, you know, I try to keep it in auto for fitting the screen all the time. System options, let's see, advanced. Thermal configuration, optimal cooling. Now I can mess around with that. But first, let's get the video straightened out. Okay, the one thing I haven't done is, we'll just try that. Disable the VGA, and I'll unplug it before I guess I'll unplug it. Well, I'll unplug it after I tell it to reboot, I guess. The other thing would be thermal configuration. It's in optimal. There's optimal and increased cooling. So optimal should be like unless increased would run, you would think increased would make the fans run full blast all the time. And then advanced performance, yeah, I went through a bunch of that stuff I don't know how to mess with anyway. Okay, so the system ROM, virtual install disk. I think virtual install disk is how you could boot from an ISO, which could be really, it's enabled. I don't think I turned it. Anyway, I'm not going to go, hide option ROM messages, disabled. That I think is the one that I did was enabled, I think. Well, I'm going to leave it for now because it gives me a little more time to decide to press F8 or F9 or whatever. Let's see, where's the video? I got out of there. Yeah, I'm out of the video. Okay, so I'm disabling the VGA, the embedded. Escape, F10. Now, F10. Okay, now I'm going to unplug the VGA because, I mean, it may not need to, but I'm going to make sure I don't cause myself a problem by leaving it plugged in. Since it's disabled, you could probably just leave it plugged in. And yeah, my VGA cable's messed up. There's some broken wires inside of it, the cable. So it's purple. Everything's purple. And it's too expensive to buy another one. It hadn't been worth it to me, especially since, well, what I've been doing for years is just using I had one computer now that had a DVI output, DVI-D output, so I would just run that cable over to my monitor, and then when I got on it, I'd have to go and switch on the monitor from VGA to DVI. So it's rebooted with video card first, VGA disabled, and it's just exactly the same loud sound that it was. So I'll probably ended up putting it back like I kind of wanted it. Video card first, VGA second. That seems to work just fine. I can have it plugged in or not. It doesn't seem to really matter, the VGA. And I'm sure when running it, I would just keep the VGA unplugged, I think, just to make sure what's the point, in working the system to send out that VGA signal when it has no reason to. Well, there's one reason. It could be a backup in case something goes wrong and you lose your video on your HDMI. But Anyway, yeah, those settings aren't going to do anything then for the noise level. The only other that I'm going to have to, I'll probably try that other setting just to see what it does, and then after that, I think I'm going to have to get back into the manual and start. You know, I've got 3 manuals for it. I've got user manual, repair manual, and an ILO manual, and ILO wouldn't help for this, but I'll look in probably the user manual first, but you know, there's so many 100, 200, 300, 500 pages, you know, so I had to just search through it. I mean, it's good, you know, if it was that short, if it was 1 or 2, 10 pages, well, even if it's 10 pages, I'd have to search through it. But if it's 1 or 2 pages, I might read the whole thing. But anyway, you just start trying to figure out what words it beeped. I think I forgot to switch it to DVI. I am not used to doing that. It used to be something I did all the time, and I was used to it. Okay, it's fixing to. At least it beeps when it gets to the starts booting to that USB. I don't know if it always does that or just on the USB. You know, on the removable media. It tells me, and it counts down for about 50. Well, it was on 53 seconds, so it probably does a whole minute. Gives you time to select what you want. So that's helpful in this situation. So, I mean, it works perfect. Recognizes it. The onboard, you know, the Linux driver that's on this live system is perfect. Good size and everything. But I'm not used to having my camera show whenever I have to do that spitting. But usually, if I bend down, you can't. I'm out of the picture. Okay, so just as loud as it was. So this time I hit quit to get it when I'm going to get out of it. And it'll say, do you really want to quit? Yes, yes I do. And yeah, well, I do still have it set. Oh, it reboots with, yeah, you don't have to hit Control-Alt-Delete. It's going to reboot when you do that. So I'm going to, jumping up and down, it's driving me crazy here. I'm kind of just a habit of putting that pillow up there, but I use it because my neck hurts and is weak. My neck gets weak and it hurts if I don't support it. Okay, so I plugged the VGA in. I got my DVI. I mean, keep calling it DVI because that's what it is on the monitor, I guess. HDMI. There is a DVI on here, but I can't get to it. You see that? If you want to see how that went, see me at the install video where I installed that card. So that's why it could be. I don't see that shouldn't make any difference. I mean, it's still the same card no matter how I plug into it, and it does work. But if I did have I thought, what if I had the DVI plugged in and then it quit making all that noise? Well, I don't think that would help. Okay, what do I want to do? I'm not so sure. Let's see if it will show the BIOS. I'm gonna leave it on DVI for now, and see if it can show the BIOS. Let's see, what do I have it on? Oh, I think VGA's turned off, right? Right, so I'm gonna have to. Ooh, that would be a mess. If I couldn't get back and see the BIOS again, it'd be a real mess. Then I'd have to try to figure out how to get ILO working. I suppose there might be some jumpers you could press to, you know, reset it, but that's a scary thought. But I don't know, just because I plugged it in, it could change it. Sometimes, you know, BIOSes will see that VGA and it'll swap it for you in the BIOS, but we'll wait a minute here and see. I won't switch it until I've waited long enough to figure out whether it, I guess it'll beep at me in a little bit to go back trying to boot to Fedora again. There's my cursor right there. Let's see if it posts the messages. I want F9. Yeah, F9. Oh, it's going to. Yeah, it works just great. I mean, it's just like it should be. The only thing is that everything's different in the boot screen ever since I put the card in. I didn't do any switching, at least unless I did it and I don't remember it. I don't think I swapped anything in BIOS until after I booted it the first time. 77 degrees inside of the machine, F9. Control S, go into configuration menu, which will get you into, I think, several different things, but I think the ILO setup is one of them. And maybe the RAID, you can get into the RAID setup there, I think. You can you can pick different things. See, and it tells you more. It doesn't skip all this. See, press F8 to run the option ROM. But tells you the Smart Array P410i controller. It doesn't seem to. Anyway, the normal boot screen was, well, it's all blue and white and black, I think. You know, more. This is just black and white graphics, kind of gray and black and white graphics on the where it says HP and stuff. That started when I booted, ever since I booted with the card in there, and I don't know why. So that's why I keep thinking, what did it do on its own? Well, a lot of it's set to automatic. So okay, yeah, the video is in advanced options, and it's not usually in advanced options in PCs. Okay, video. Optional video primary, embedded video secondary, embedded video primary. Yeah, that's the way I need it. That way both things work. Yeah. Performance and tuning options, that's different. That's kind of like overclocking. Basically, I guess that's overclocking. But it warns you over and over, don't do this crap. Don't do a lot of this crap, and don't do anything unless you know what you're doing. Serial number, okay. Thermal configuration. Let's just see what increased cooling does. And make it even louder, we'll see. Then F10 and it'll reboot. I still wonder if it's a good idea to leave that VGA plugged in. Now it's singing, the fans are singing. Hadn't been doing that before. Did something. They're not quieting it down though. Figure on this setting, it may get louder. I'm on DVI, right? Yeah. Let's see if the VGA shows anything. No. So it just hadn't got to anything yet. It says no signal. Okay. I'm just going to leave it on DVI. I'm debating about whether I want to unplug the VGA again, but now it's set to video card first, VGA second, so it shouldn't actually hurt anything. It'll just be a good backup. Now there's my cursor, and I'm thinking about where do I want to go. Let's see. I want to go back in there and dig around. I think I'll go back into. I'm thinking about that Control S whatever. I can't remember. Let's wait and see what it says. Oh, now it got really loud. Whoa. If it stays like that. That is definitely what you don't want. I don't see that. Control S. I'm just going to see what it does on it. Since I set that new setting, I'm going to see what it does on its own. That evidently is how you make it super loud. Unless it's going to fix itself. Don't think so. I'm going to go to the install Fedora. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is what I don't want, ever. That's what I figured by reading it, what it would do. So I just thought it was loud. But when before I put the video card in, it wasn't, it was not loud enough to bother you. You can hear it. Like, it was pretty much about the same volume level as a regular desktop or something. I'm wondering if it would quieten down. Now, I have it set to be controlled by the operating system. I wonder, of course, I don't have anything in this install or any, kind of quieting down a little bit, but it's still way too loud. Okay, so the other way is way better. I just forgot what loud was. So let's go back into BIOS and fix that. And I think what I do need to do is get either Fedora 32 or an older Linux system that it will just boot straight into it without me having to. Well, actually, it'll stop. Yeah, it'll stop and it'll let me do it. Okay, so if I put Fedora 32 on an SD card in the USB adapter, I can just plug it in. I tried to put it on SD card and my old USB adapters, and it didn't see. Neither one of them, it couldn't see it, the SD card. It was in the, but this little one, it will see that, I think. I'm sure it will, because that's how I've been doing it. I didn't want to use it because the plastic's all cracked, and it'll actually let you put it in upside down, and it's scary to use. I don't want to be shorting out my SD card or my USB on the server, But I just have to be careful, because that's all I got that'll work. And I got to thinking, I'm almost certain that I did put one of my SD cards, one of my new, I think the one that's in the camera, after I formatted it to FAT32, I put it in one of those adapters and plugged them in. And they just, showed right up. Excuse me. So I'm thinking maybe the exFAT that comes on might not work in those older adapters. Well, I think I will get that. I've got me a cough drop. I've got, as usual, and of course the drainage always gets worse when you want to talk. That's so loud, I bet that might be actually overtaking me on the mics. I'm not sure. It's surprisingly quiet on the mics with my, every time I watch the videos, because I have the noise gate and compressor set up on OBS Studio for the lapels, and then I have an actual effects unit over here that I run the SM58 through. I could get on the SM58, but I'd have to switch back to the other machine. So, I think maybe the first time that's how loud it was. Yeah, okay, the cursor's back. So I'm going to be wanting F9 when I get a post here. You have to wait till the right point during the post count. I think. I tried hitting them just as soon as you see the cursor, and it doesn't do anything until you get to that point where it tells you you can do that now. So, is he on processors? Well, I can't. Okay, there we go. That comes up as one of the first things. It's 73 degrees now. That cooled it down. It was 70. What was it? Or was that what it was a while ago? There is one. The last thing on the screen, it says press escape to skip the configuration, but I'm not sure what it's talking about configuring. But I want to go to BIOS, so and I already hit F9, so better fix that now. Advanced. So the video is good on, yeah. Thermal. We want optimal cooling. That's the last. It doesn't hurt to look around a bit. Just want to make sure we don't lose any of that. PCI device enabled, disabled. I don't think I really looked. HP NC382i PCIe DP multifunction 1 GB adapter, port 1 and 2 enabled, and it's the same thing over and over. Tells what ports are on. Embedded Intel SATA controller, HG Smart Array P410i controller, unknown PCI device. That's my video card. So yeah, I don't know what it is. Enable, disable. Well, of course I don't want to disable it. Okay, so that's the first time I've got into that section and noticed that. PCIC settings. USBs. ATI. ES1000 video controller. That's the embedded. Lights out. There's 3 of them. Virtual media. 1 GB adapter again over and over. Oh, that's the Ethernet. 1 GB Ethernet. Yeah, there's 4 of them. The RAID controller, P410i. Display controller. Okay, there it is again. I think. PCI slot 4. Yeah, I believe so. Multimedia device. Yeah, because you know, that's probably the audio output of the card. Because let's go ahead and look at the power management. Custom power profile, power regulator. Certain processors only support 1 power state and will always operate at their initialized frequency no matter what power regulator is set to. OS control, static high performance, static low power, dynamic power savings mode. That was what it was defaulted in. I put it in OS control thinking maybe it would allow me to quieten it down with the you know, like the software that comes with the driver. If I was to use the driver, the proprietary video driver that for this card, they do have one for Linux or for Red Hat, which makes Fedora. I actually think now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it was this loud until I set it on that. So maybe if I reboot it again, efficiency mode, power supply, auto. Oh, I did change that. High efficiency mode, auto. Efficiency mode, odd. Yeah, okay. These are actually not high efficiency power supplies. I don't know if that makes any difference. Balanced. Let's put it on balance because that's what it was in. Advanced power management. Okay, now this is where you can actually like memory bus frequency and all that. It also tells you to be careful with this. 2.0 support. Warning, not all Express devices function properly if the PCI Express speed is forced to PCIe Generation 2. Please consult. I want to read something in the manual. I don't know what this one is. It's probably newer than 2. I don't know what generations they are. But I need to find that out before I go changing that, since there's a big red warning, red and yellow warning. Check it on the expansion cards before you do it. Okay. Leave it on auto. Oh, auto, generation 1 and 2. So that should make it do the best it can. Dynamic power savings mode, response fast. Collaborative power control, over. Oh, I guess maybe that makes the power supplies share the load. Turbo boost optimization. Optimized for performance. Optimized for power. That's something that might actually. And Intel QPI link power management. I don't know what that is, but that's what it was when I got it. Oh, minimal processor idle power state. C6, C3. I don't know what that means. C6 is the one I do remember seeing from I'm auto on the memory bus frequency. Oh, okay. This is a different area. Memory interleaving full. That was what it already was. Yeah, okay. Redundant power supply balance. I'm going to leave that on there. I thought auto might be safer, but it's high efficiency auto. That may actually switch it back to balanced if it needs to. I'm not planning on putting those other supplies in there right now, but well, it wasn't any louder or quieter. I'm going to put it back on auto, I think. Yes? No. Yes. Because if I change a bunch of things at once, it just, yeah, OS control mode. Power savings mode, I don't want to throttle, I know that throttles down the CPU on the, on an HP, because I saw it was a different one, a run rack HP, but it might make it quieter. OS control, high performance, low power mode. That is something that might quieten it down a bit. High performance. I forgot where that section was where power profile. There's so many things that sound so similar. Balance for power and performance. That is where it was, I believe, at the beginning. Or OS control. Since I don't have anything in my operating system that can control it right now, I'm thinking now that where it was when I started today is actually quieter than it, quietest way that is quieter than this. Okay, balance, yeah. Power savings mode. Oh, dynamic power savings. Yeah, I think that would be like automatically adjusting. Low power, high performance. Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of this in a way as what would make it quieter, not other, except for I don't want to. Oh, high efficiency auto. Leave that on there. Auto. Oh, turbo boost optimization. I can't believe they still use turbo boost in the computer terms. Optimized for performance, optimized for power. Yeah, see.